Surprise! It's a brand new model! Yay! Yes, I recently debuted a brand new model. This is the male customizable model done by Kyoki Studio, which you can check out in the description below, along with my new background, which was also done by Dream Art. So thanks to both of them, and let's get on with the video. It's 10 questions with Teller. Would you rather have to sit all day or stand all day? I mean, I feel like I sit all day anyway because of my work, you know, I work in an admin job. So like, I mean, sitting all day is what I do, but I don't know, standing all day would be, the problem is that when I stand, I pace. I pace around all over the place. I don't stand still. That's the problem. So the problem wouldn't necessarily be standing all day, it would be standing still all day. I'd just be going back and forth all day, and I think that would just get tiring after a round. So I'd probably just sit all day, to be honest. It's lazy, but it would just keep me in one place. What is your favorite day of the week? Ooh, it's between Friday and Saturday. Like, Friday is like last day of work, like you've still got to work, but there's that feeling of like, and now you get time off, now you get to do what you want to do. Whereas Saturday is, you're actually doing it, you're actually like there, and you can just, you know, relax and, you know, start spending the weekend. Because like Sunday, it's like, yeah, you can relax, but you've got to start building up again for the next week and things like that. So I'd probably say the Friday, because like just that initial release of like and just like that initial like being able to just relax and like work your way into the weekend, that's probably a bigger feeling than the actual weekend itself. So Friday would be my favorite day of the week. Are you a morning or a night person? Recently I've been both because I can't sleep very well. I've only been able to sleep for like 6 hours, which I know is terrible. Getting 6 hours is to some people all right, but for me it's just it doesn't do me any good. But I would say I am a morning person. I generally tend to get more things done in the morning. Like first thing in the morning, I'm not good. I'm not one of these that like jumps out of bed and go, yes, it's the day. Like no, I need a shower, minimum. I need a shower to wake up. You know, I need something to wake me up in the morning. But once I'm awake, I can get going, I'm off, and it feels a lot better than the night. Like the morning is like where I think I'm most productive, whereas the night I'm sort of just winding down basically. So yeah, in the morning. Are you a giver or a taker? Giver. And I'm not bad at giving things. Like I don't give like terrible things, you know. I try to be very thoughtful about the presents that I give and things like that. It's more that I only like to give and I don't like to take. I just like, you know, I give things to people and then they're like, oh, what do you want in return? I'm like, nothing. Don't give me anything, which is, it's not healthy, unfortunately, and it's actually been leading me to a lot of problems recently. There's been a lot of doubt in my mind as to like, have people been taking advantage of me? Have people been taking advantage of my kindness and trying to use me for their own, basically for like their own ambitions, and then just throwing me to the side basically? And it's sort of made me realize that this isn't working out, because it's, you know, you've got all these people that seem to be succeeding and yet I don't seem to be going anywhere, and yet I'm still helping these people out. So I'm being taken advantage of basically. That's the bad side of giving, is that there are definitely people out there that just expect you to give and then they never give you anything in return, basically. So I am a giver, but I am very much becoming a taker. I'm very much becoming someone who's like, well, no, I'm not necessarily becoming a taker. I'm just becoming someone that doesn't give as much, basically. I'm just becoming selfish. Would you rather be rich and never find true love, or be poor and find true love? Poor and find true love. Money can buy you a lot of things. It can't buy you love. It can buy you a relationship, but is that relationship like genuine? You know, what is the foundation of that relationship? Is it actually built on love? Is it built on trust? Or is it just built on the fact that you have a lot of money? Yes, money is a fantastic thing to have. Believe me, as someone that lives paycheck to paycheck, like, having lots and lots of money would definitely solve a lot of things. But the hollowness of it, I think, would definitely get to me in the end. I think with the type of person I am, it just wouldn't sit with me right. It would feel like ill-gotten gains. It would feel like I got this money because I manipulated systems, I abused people, and it just wouldn't sit right with me, basically. So I'd rather take the love, honestly. How often do you use your phone? Too much. Too often, to be perfectly honest. I'm one of these terrible people that uses their phone first thing in the morning and last thing at night when I'm in bed. And I know it's a terrible habit. I know it's a terrible habit. But it's something that my brain's just gotten used to, and it's like, oh, check the phone, and it just sort of goes as it is. Outside of that, I generally don't tend to use my phone as much as I do. Like, obviously I'm using it for this because I'm using it to track my model, so technically I am using it, but am I on my phone like checking social media and things like that? No, because most of the time I'm generally at my PC. So I don't need my phone to check something because I'm at my PC. So I can just go on my PC and check it. So technically I don't use it as often as other people, but that's because I have something else that can basically provide for me what a phone provides, basically, if that makes sense. What kind of music do you like to listen to? I will listen to anything, and I seriously mean anything. Like, for me, there's no real genre of music. I don't kind of like pigeonhole myself like, yeah, you know, there's like chart music and rock music and dance and things like that, and pop. But generally for me, the type of music that I like is, how do I explain it? The term I like to use is feel the mix. It's where I can put my headphones on and I can feel the music. I can feel like an emotion coming out of it. I can feel the energy coming from the track. Because I generally tend to listen to music based on the emotion that I'm feeling at the time. So if I'm happy, then I'm listening to more upbeat, perky tracks. If I'm a bit down, if I'm in a bit of a depressive state, I listen to more downbeat, downturn, like low tone, not depressive songs, but generally a bit more like, not as perky, basically. So generally for me, the kind of music I like to listen to depends on the emotion that I'm in at the time and how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling and everything like that. So that then determines the music I listen to. So generally I can listen to anything, basically, because it just depends on how I feel at the time. What's the worst thing about your gender? Wow. Okay, fine, sure, yeah, let's go for it. I thought we got away from all the deep questions. No, we're bringing them back now, and we're making them personal. Really personal. Woo! Quick, find that traitor's theme. Get the daggers out again. Woo! What's the worst thing about your gender? So right now I'm in a bit of a I don't want to say gender crisis, but I'm sort of deliberating my gender. Like, biologically, I am male, but I am sort of questioning whether I am non-binary, which means I have no gender. And a lot of that is how I perceive the male gender. If you look at society and look at a lot of things that have happened in, say, the past 5-10 years, the male gender has become very toxic, and this idea of toxic masculinity has sort of come to the forefront, and I think it's really poisoned a lot of people's minds when it comes to males and men. Toxic masculinity is basically going back to the caveman era of, you know, man is man, man rules, what man says goes, and woman listens to it, and all that. And it's like, that's not the world that we live in today. We live in a world of equality. We live in a world where everyone is supposed to be equal. I say supposed to be equal, I wish everyone was equal, but unfortunately that's not the case. And that toxic masculinity, it's not something that I agree with. Like, I remember growing up in school, and there used to be a lot of boys around, and they'd be like, oh yeah, oh, we're boys, da, 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 da. And it really turned me off. Like, I would probably say I got on better with the girls at my school than I did with the boys. And growing up, I would say generally now, I would probably trust a woman more than I trust a man because of that toxic masculinity. So if you're asking me what the worst thing is about the male gender, it probably is toxic masculinity, and it's basically it's one of the big reasons why I'm thinking about non-binary and why I sort of associate myself with that. Again, I wouldn't say I am non-binary. My pronouns are they/he, but it's definitely something that's in the back of my mind, something that I'm questioning, and it's definitely something that's been happening for a few years now. And probably as time progresses, you know, I'll see where it goes and things like that. Have you ever been to the emergency room? What for? I've been a few times. Most of them I'm not comfortable disclosing, but I will disclose one of them. When I was young, I was involved in a low-speed car accident. No one was hurt, no one was injured. It was driving in the car with family and just happened to get into an accident only around 15-20 miles an hour. So it was low speed, no one was hurt or injured, thank God, but they had to take everyone to hospital because they had to run x-rays on everyone except me. I never had to have an x-ray, so thankfully I didn't have to have anything done to me. But that was one time I went to the emergency room. I suppose the other one that I can mention, because I do mention it a lot, is I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking, I was throwing everything up, and that was the visit where I ended up getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and I basically spent a week in hospital after surgery. It was the week of believe it or not, when used to be a thing. So I sat and watched in a hospital recovering. I always remember that hospital as well, because it was, I forget when I went in, but I had surgery on the Thursday. I started rehab on the Friday, and I was out on the Tuesday because the surgery had basically knocked all the energy out of me. So I had to build the strength back up to walk again. And they said to me, right, you need to basically pace back and forth. You know, you need to start walking again on the hour every hour. And so I did. I started walking on the hour every hour. You know, in less than a week, I was out. And I remember one of the like rehabilitation nurses coming up and sort of checking my progress and being like, wow, you you really went for it, you know, you've really progressed. I'm like, yeah, I don't mess around with this. Like, you asked me to do it, I will do it, and I will make sure that it is done, you know. I don't kid around with this kind of stuff. So yeah, there's been a few more times, but I'm not comfortable sharing those. But those are, say, 2 times when I went to the emergency room. One which was, you know, low speed, not really nothing, and then one where I got diagnosed with Crohn's. Hey! What was your favourite subject in school? Mathematics. Because I was the only person that, because my school, okay, I have to explain the school system for most people watching. So in the UK, we have like primary school, which is up to 11 years. And then we have secondary school, which is 11 to 16 years. And then college for us is between 16 and 18 years. The school I went to had a secondary college, and a secondary school and a college. So it was basically 11 to 18 years. So I stuck around for 16 to 18 years, which is what's known as A-levels. I think it was known as A-levels in the UK. I don't know if it's known as A-levels now, but I stuck around basically between 11 and 18. So I was at school until 18. I was the only person that not only did maths at college, but also did further maths at college. So I basically had a one-on-one session with a teacher for, I think it was 4 hours a week. It's all split into 2-hour sessions. So I basically got a personal teacher for further maths because no one else wanted to follow it on, but I did. And the reason why I took maths and further maths was because I wanted to be an accountant. And look where that got me. Shit nowhere. You're good with numbers. Yeah. I still like mathematics. Like, don't ask me to try and remember anything from those days. Like, I've gone back and looked at like a few past papers, and some of the things are like this and that, and like a lot of stuff from school is just kind of gone out the other ear, basically. But no, mathematics. It was always my favourite and still continues to be my favourite. So there you have it. New model, new questions, and me, same old dumb streamer. Do you want to ask any questions to me? Then you can. Just leave them in the comments below. You can also like, subscribe, and whatever else people do on socials. I don't know. I'm still not used to doing an outro. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!